Hey, my band people. This video is going to be an overview of the audition requirements specifically for clarinet players, B flat and bass clarinet. However, all of you can benefit for right now in watching this video where you can see the breakdown of the information, how it should sound, and what resources are available to you in order to perform your audition requirements from home. So here's the breakdown in general of what I'm going to need to hear from you. Recording number 1 is your major scale plus your chromatic scale. And for the clarinet players, that's concert F, which means your G note. So concert F, when the band director says concert F, that means your G. Open G, or maybe low G down here with these 3 fingers, your G note. The chromatic scale is going to start on your G as well, and you need to start on this low G. We'll go over it in a minute and work your way up. Okay, recording number 2 is the prepared piece. A little bit of information on the prepared piece. Make sure that you perform all measures. There's 17 measures. You need to play all measures, and the goal tempo is to be able to play it at 120 beats per minute. Make sure that you are paying attention to your key signature, accidentals, unusual rhythms, articulations, dynamic style, etc. Everything on that piece of paper, you need to study it and look it up. Some of those terms you can find on page 48 in your book. There's a glossary at the back of the book. So for example, dynamics and accidental, those are definitely in the glossary, and it'll tell you what page to go to. Unusual rhythms, you may have to go elsewhere in the book and find where did you learn syncopation, one and. Where did you learn triplets, triplet, triplet, triplet. You may have to search for that in the book and on Essential Elements in SmartMusic. It may not have a particular page that you recall. That's just part of your homework. You have access to my files on the computer. Here is the major scale 1 octave beginner band scale sheets. Concert F major starts on your G. That's the scale I'm looking for. If you're more advanced and you're working on a 2nd octave, here's the advanced band sheet. You're going to play concert F. See that F starts on your G note, and you're going to play 2 octaves out of 3. So symphonic students, 2 octaves. Concert band, you're working on 2 octaves. All right, there's your 2 octaves right there. 2 octave arpeggio goes to that G note right there. We hop over here, G note coming back down. That's your 2 octave scale if you're working on it. This is a section that is full of major, minor, pentatonic, whole tone scales, all kinds of stuff. And I'll share the link, and I'm going to go over how to set this up for you. So what I've done is I selected major, 8th notes, 1 octave and arpeggio. Everybody's going to practice it this way. You can go back over here to 1 octave, whole notes and quarter notes. I'd like for the beginners to get away from that. You need to transition to where I've got it set up right now, which is in 8th notes. We need to be moving to the all state, all county requirements. That's in scales are moving in 8th notes, and everything is tongued up and slurred down like you practiced in class. So every instrument that is a transposing instrument, and every instrument who needs to change their scale that's not this default one, you're going to come over here to display. And remember I said concert F is your G. Go over here and find your G. The scale starts on your G. That's not right. Oh, there we go. Here it is. Your G. That note. Look, you can even play it and see if you match. Wait a minute. That wasn't right. Nope, that one's not in either. Ah, I found my G note. Okay, so you can practice with those little buttons right there. That's super handy. You've got a fingering chart right there. All right, so what we're going to do is if you're a beginner, we're going to practice it real slow. then you're going to move it a little faster. So for our purposes on here, I'll kind of skip 20 at a time. Okay, so I'm going to play it again. I'm going to go faster this time. I don't need to hear that whole note, okay? You can play a half note at the end and move on with our lives. You don't want to get bogged down on playing a whole note at the end of a scale pattern. All right, let's go on to 100 beats per minute. Okay, that's a pretty good tempo. Some of you may go faster. What I want to hear is good clarity. If a student can play clean at 120 beats per minute, I would be impressed. But I'm looking for somewhere at least 100 beats per minute. That's a good bouncy tempo for an audition. So let's try this. Okay, now advanced students, advanced beginners, if you're working on 2 octaves, here it is, 2 octaves, scale and arpeggio. And remember, you need to go to display, go to your concert F, aka your G note, and here it is. Okay, the next half of recording number 1 is your chromatic scale. Same as the major scale, it's going to be tongued up and slurred down, and you're going to use a fingering chart to help you practice this. So I'm going to play it 1 octave right here, and you just follow along on the fingering chart. Each of these notes, you can see where my cursor's going, and then we turn around and go right back down. Every note is the same value. All notes are going to be 1/8 notes. There is no quarter note or half note at the beginning of this. Every single note is 1/8 notes. It will sound like this. In order to get to the fingering chart, you click on the music studio, and you're in your your music studio. That's right. So this is where the recording portion is. And if you come down here on the left side, fingering chart, you can use your fingering chart to play your chromatic scale. You don't have to have it memorized, just play it. All right, on my screen, I can actually fit 2 octaves, just barely. So if I'm playing a 2 octave scale, I'm gonna go from the low G, I'm gonna pass through the middle G, I'm going to go up to the high G at the top of the staff, and then I'm going to work my way all the way back down. So I'll share this as well. Here's a chromatic scale in quarter notes. So beginners, if you want to practice that way, you can. For our purposes, we're going to move on to 1/8 notes. We're going to practice a chromatic scale up and down in 1/8 notes, 1 octave. Remember, you have to go over here and change it to concert F, aka your G, and play it like this. Now they put it in 3/4 time, 4/4, 3/4, as long as you play 1/8 notes all the way up and all the way down. You can play the last note as an 1/8 note, or you can hold it as a half note. Don't hold it really long. All right, advanced band students, 1/8 notes, 2 octaves. Let's take a look at that. And again, every time it's going to set back to this default D note. I don't know why it was chosen that would be the place to start. But you're going to come over here and you want, for the clarinets, you want 1 sharp in the key signature, concert F, aka your G. And here's a 2 octave chromatic scale all the way up, all the way down. What I like about SmartMusic's presentation of this is on the way up, you see sharps. And when you turn back around, you see flats coming down. Make sure you check your key signature right here. This is F sharp in the key signature, and then F natural accidental. This is important. Band directors, we want to teach you in harmonics so you can read notes both ways, whether we're in a sharp key or a flat key, that you can read it both ways. So a C sharp is presented right here and a D flat is presented right here. They sound the same. It's the same fingering on the clarinet or on any instrument, that pinky key, okay? But the notes are gonna look different on paper, a C sharp or a D flat. So I really like this presentation of the chromatic scale. And again, go as slow as you need to. If you need to set it down at 60, the speed of the second hand on the clock, and go very, very slow and speed it up from there, whatever you need. So there's your options for practicing at home. And this record button is fantastic. So I'm going to do that real quick, and I'm going to show you if I mess up a little bit or play out of tune, it's going to catch that and show me what I did wrong. Okay, so I purposefully put a few mistakes in there and then corrected myself, and the computer will show you exactly what note it picked up. And it'll show you if you played way too high, too low, if you're a little bit out of tune. You know, usually the orange is like you're a little out of tune, the red is like you just played a wrong note. So you can record yourself and get that feedback. That would be really great for beginners if you're still not comfortable playing a chromatic scale. Especially clarinet players and pinky keys, then it would give you that instant feedback as soon as you're done. So you can see over here in the left-hand corner, I made a 78% on that. Okay, so I go back and I practice some more. So that is the chromatic scale. Those are the resources you can use for that. One little side note I forgot to add in the video is, of course, you can use your book for your chromatic scale. And I take it for granted that you know this information, but your parents don't. So parents, the chromatic scale, if you're not on Essential Elements, having trouble with it, on page 46 and 47, the kids have a chromatic fingering chart in the back of their book. That's the same thing that I just showed you on the internet. Moving on to recording number 2. This will be your end of year audition piece and final exam 2020. It's this piece of paper that we're looking at right here. I do apologize, the tempo was not marked on these PDFs that I saved, but I've made sure to put it everywhere else. I've dispersed it everywhere else, and I'll go back in and update the PDF files to reflect that the quarter note equals 120 beats per minute. And that's what I mentioned at the beginning of the video. So this right here is the PDF version that you can find in Google Drive. I've shared that in the description box below. And also the best part, in my humble opinion as a band director, is I was able to import this into SmartMusic and it will play back. And we're going to try the recording and see if it will judge me pretty accurately. Make sure that you have it set for the correct instrument. It's going to sound really funny if it's set to baritone and I start reading baritone, but I'm a clarinet player. It's going to sound really bad. That's pretty good. So you guys, this would be a really great practice tool because if you bomb it and you've recorded it, then SmartMusic is going to tell you that. It's going to give you a grade. Now, I didn't play it 100%. I didn't play that crescendo at the end very well. but it thinks I made a 100. The other feature on here, this other play button with the tiny red record button next to it, is you can play your recording right back to you. So what I just performed, I can listen to it while looking at the comments from SmartMusic. When you go to record and you send me whatever you're going to send me, recording 1 should go like this. Should be quick, easy. You don't even have to say your name, because anything on the computer, when you send it to me, it's going to have your name attached to it. So you just hit record. And that's recording number 1. You see, even Miss Couey makes mistakes. I really do. Okay, that's recording 1. It should only take you about 30, 45 seconds to do that. If you're doing 2 octaves, it may be 45 seconds, closer to a minute to get through it all. Should be very quick and easy. Recording number 2, same thing. You just hit record, play that audition piece from measure 1 to measure 17. You're done, stop, submit it. Don't wait till the last minute. Send me a recording every week if you want to, because between now and the deadline, you've got the opportunity where you could send 1 a week, and I would grade each one. Your grade never goes down, it only goes up. So if you do better the next time, you get more points. If you work a little harder, you get a little better at it, you have better performance, you're not as nervous, you get more points. So send me 1 a week, okay? Good luck to you guys. And like I said, I'll keep putting out more videos and more teaching. I'm a YouTuber now. So love you guys. Bye.